This is the Carty Method podcast.
17 social media hacks that every single photographer should know. Social media can be your most powerful ally as a photographer, but only if you know how to leverage it effectively. If you've been struggling to gain traction online, or if you're wondering how to actually convert your customers or your followers into paying customers, you're in the right place. I'm about to share 17 social media hacks that have helped countless photographers like you boost their online presence, attract more clients, and build a thriving photography business. So, why should you listen to me, by the way? I've been in your shoes, navigating the ever-changing landscape of social media while trying to build a successful photography business. Over the years, I've learned how to turn social media from just a platform for sharing pictures into a powerful tool that actually drives real results. My social media accounts don't just look good, they actually convert. They bring in clients, they create engagement, and they generate revenue. I've helped numerous photographers do the same through my coaching, and now I'm here to help you right here on YouTube. What you're going to learn today in this content, I'm very excited. I'm going to break down 17 actionable social media hacks that every photographer needs to know. These aren't just generic tips. These are strategies specifically tailored for photographers looking to grow their online presence and convert their followers into clients. I'm going to walk you through how to optimize your profiles and how to create engaging content, leverage new features. Obviously, Reels aren't that new, but Reels is a feature that not enough photographers use, and how to use your own personal analytics to fine-tune your strategy. Each hack is designed to be practical and easy for you to implement, so you can start seeing results right away. By the way, by the end of this content, you're going to have a clear understanding on how to use social media to your advantage. You're going to know exactly how to optimize your profiles for search, how to create content that actually resonates with your audience, and engage in a way that builds relationships and converts followers into clients. Whether you're just starting out, by the way, at this whole photography thing, or you're an existing working photographer that is just underusing social media, maybe you're looking to refine an existing strategy, today's hacks are going to give you the tools you need to take your social media game to the next level and grow your photography business. Super hyped about today. So, if you're a photographer that is struggling, by the way, to make your mark on social media, you're not alone. Here's the ass kicker. You might be using social media all wrong. For a photographer, running your socials isn't just about posting work. It's about crafting a magnetic narrative and engaging with your audience in a way that turns your followers into clients. Back in 2007, I embarked on a journey here on YouTube and with all my social media platforms. It's like that was the year that I started Instagram, that I started Twitter, that I started YouTube. I've been on social media, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all of that stuff since it was invented. I mean, I was on Facebook when it was still in beta. Initially, I used social media as a platform to show my client work and my personal life. It was a space to dump my creative output. It was a bit of a digital mess, to be honest, but as a decade and a half has gone by, I realized how powerful these platforms are and how they could be so much more than just a showcase of past achievements. It took me way too long to realize that I could transform my social media into a dynamic educational dopamine hit for photographers. So what I had to do was embrace a new vision for my social media. A year ago, I made the conscious decision to stop focusing on growing my socials in the usual sense. Instead, I chose to grow my socials in a way that would grow my business and create a presence in a way that felt more aligned with my actual aspirations. And it might sound counterintuitive when we're in a world where high follower counts are like a super coveted metric, but let me tell you, there's some incredible things that happened to me as a result to this dedication and decision. So what I was trying to do, and I got to get my iPad because I want to make some diagrams. What I was trying to do was and every photographer needs to do is you need to cater to your ideal audience. So when you go through that strategic shift, what it allows you to do is hone in what the exact content your ideal clients want and need. So let me get out my notebook. I mean, my goodness, if you don't have an iPad or an iPad that allows you to make notes, like with an Apple Pencil and all of that, like it's so choice. You kind of got to do it. Why would you not? It's the way that you can just have all your data with you at all times. You don't have to worry about finding a pen, finding a piece of paper. You have your iPad. Everything is good. All right. So let's get into your ideal client. Let's do it like this. Your ideal client. That's essentially who we're looking for, right? Our ideal client. I'll put it up here. So that's who we're looking for, is our ideal client. And now, once you start thinking about your ideal client, you start honing in on what content your ideal client wants and needs. No longer was I creating content for the masses. My content was now tailored to educate and inspire fellow photographers and also catch the highest end photography clients. That pivot in my approach led to an influx of the right kind of audience, passionate and eager to learn, and perfectly aligned with the educational direction I was taking. As well, I was attracting the type of photography clients that needed more than just a photographer. They needed an idea generator, a video maker, a content creator. So what you do now is you find your ideal client, and then, oops, let's just do this, shrink this a little. You find your ideal client, and then you make content only for them. You make content only for them. Okay? Now, what happens, like what we're trying to do is we're trying to build a business beyond views. The results of this shift are mind-blowing. I'm able to enroll amazing photographers into my education programs where I empower photographers like you to refine your craft, your business acumen, and I do this through mindset shifts using the 6 parts of the Carty Method. That not only added significant profit to my business, but it's also a testament of powerful, targeted, high-value driven content. So let's go back to the diagram. This content that you're making only for them, you have to obsess. You have to obsess, and it has to be high value. When you obsess on making high value content for your ideal client, it really starts to work. When I first ventured into the realm of social, I really saw it as an easy way to get seen. Soon, I realized social media is a digital ocean where my work easily got lost in the waves of content. It's a common trap for photographers. We focus so much on showcasing our work that we forget social media is more than just a gallery. It's a platform for storytelling and for connection. That revelation led me to a strategic pivot in my approach. I started by really understanding my audience, who they are, what they seek in a photographer, Whether it's my photography and my creative ability or my professional photography education, I learned how to explain my 34-year pro career and my newly developed skill stack. And I was sharing how that would meet and expect my clients' needs. So I started sharing the transformations, the testimonials, the feedback, photos of me working, portraits of me, as well as my work. The game changer was when I began to share the stories on my photo shoots, the stories behind my photographs, the techniques that I used, and even the real challenges that I was facing in my life and in my work. And I started writing on Substack. I started writing every week. I've been doing it for 81 weeks in a row. That narrative approach fostered a deeper connection with my audience. And when I wrote my social posts, I wrote them the same way that I wrote my blog posts and my newsletter. So I also started making videos regularly on top of the 3 podcasts that I do per week here. And I was actually causing a ripple effect with my social media, and I'm still feeling this effect today. So I made a video, and that video is one of the reasons that so many people have found me on YouTube. And that video is called "The Best Photography Advice That Nobody Listens to." And that I have featured on my channel, and that video has gained me 8,000 YouTube subscribers, like 230,000 views, and like, I don't know, 12,000 hours of watch time from a single 7-minute video. That video exploded all my social media platforms. So there's some key strategies for your social media success. Imagine once you start obsessing over creating high value content for one ideal client, then the algorithm starts to categorize you. What you're doing is you're training the algo. And the algorithm knows you're a portrait photographer. You shoot portraits of actors and CEOs, and that they're going to show, and you're using hashtags like CEO headshots and portraits, and it's going to start categorizing you. And then what's going to happen, because the algorithm is getting trained. Welcome, Terrence. Thanks for hanging out. Because the algorithm is getting trained, it's going to show your content, and because people are engaging with your content, it's going to show it to more ideal clients. And then you're going to start closing jobs, and you're going to get jobs, and then you're going to share those jobs on social media, and it creates a flywheel. It creates a flywheel because you're niched, you're specialized, and you're only posting work that is relevant to your ideal client. It's so simple when you think of it like this. You post work for your ideal client. That client engages with this high value content. You're training the algorithm because you're posting specific content, and people who engage with that content are engaging with yours. And then you're training the algorithm, and then that pushes that content out to more ideal contents. You start getting people DMing you, and those DMs turn into jobs, and those jobs you share on your social media, and those jobs get shown to more ideal clients. And then it's high value for them. It trains the algorithm. It brings in more ideal clients. You do more jobs. And that is how you actually make social media work for you. So here's the 6. And again, I have 17 coming up in a bit. But before that, here's the 6 key aspects of my social strategy that made all of this possible. First of all, I was targeting quality viewers over quantity viewers, like the amount of people looking at my stuff. I wanted higher quality, and I'm happy to have less people as long as they're higher quality people. So I focused on attracting viewers who are genuinely interested in photography education. So rather than just trying to boost my view counts. So I realized that in order to do that, you have to understand the audience and your audience and the algorithm. And I just showed you such great algorithm training. And I dive deep into understanding how social media algorithms work, ensuring that my content that I was making were reaching those that actually would benefit the most from it. When you post for a specific audience, eventually the algorithm understands who your content's for. You're training the algorithm. When your style of content isn't consistent, if you're all over the place, if you're posting a car, a bird, a tree, a dog, a portrait, algorithms don't know what audience to show you to. So what you have to do is you have to create content with purpose. Every piece of content was crafted with my ideal viewer in mind, addressing their specific needs and their challenges in photography. So what you can actually do is synchronize your social media metadata. I aligned my content and my captions to establish me on my social media channels as an authority in the field of photography and photography education. So what I was trying to do was build an audience beyond social media. I use my social media platforms to grow an email list. You don't own social media. You don't own Instagram. You don't own Facebook. You don't own TikTok, but you do own an email list. So I use social media to grow an email list. This time, like call it February 2023, I had 8 people on my list. Now I have well over 1,700. And what that's doing is I'm able to further solidify my relationship with my audience, and I'm able to email these potential clients from this list that I own. What you have to be doing with your social media is playing the long game. Instead of trying to chase likes or viral fame, what I did was I focused on building a sustainable and impactful presence on all my social media platforms. Are you with me still, by the way? Let me know if you're with me. I hope you're with me. So we're going to get into 17 social media hacks, and I'm going to try to get through these quickly because 17 is a lot. Number 1, optimize your profile for search. Imagine this. A potential client is searching for a photographer in your area, but your profile doesn't show up. Obviously, super frustrating, right? The good news is, by optimizing your social media profiles with relevant keywords, you make it easier for clients to find you. Include your niche, your location, and a clear description of what you offer in your bio. That small tweak can make a huge difference in how easily you're discovered. So that's the first thing that you can do, is optimize your profile. And I'm just going to pull up my own darn profile here on Instagram. Let's make sure I'm logged in. Oh, is this going to send me a security code from my authenticator app? Yeah, it's gonna. Well, we don't need to log in right now. So look at this. 34-year pro. I photograph the faces of today's generation. DM me to book a chat for the session that will change your trajectory. So that's my simple bio. 34-year pro. I photograph the faces of today's generation. DM me or book a chat for the session that will change your trajectory. So we can weaponize our bio. We can actually weaponize our bio. Number 2, consistency is the key. Create a content calendar. We've all been there scrambling for content at the last minute, but there's a better way. Create a content calendar. So It'll help you plan your post in advance, ensuring that you're consistently sharing high quality content with your target audience. It not only keeps your followers engaged, but helps you stay organized and focused on your goals. So, content calendar. I have an insane calendar. Anybody who's ever seen my calendar, they're like, yo, Carty, what is going on? It's just because I schedule every single aspect of my life. If it's not in my schedule, it's not happening. And if you look at my calendar, everything in blue is all social media stuff. Everything that you see in blue is social media stuff, and it's blocked out ongoing forever. So leverage it and actually schedule it and plan some stuff ahead. Here's number 3. Use Instagram stories and reels to connect with people. Like reels is like TikTok. It goes out to people who aren't following you. Be magnetic in your Instagram stories. Talk to camera. Talk as if you're talking to a good friend, and do that same thing on reels. I'm telling you, Instagram is way more than just a photo sharing app now. It's a storytelling platform. Stories and reels allow you to share the behind the scenes moments that make your work and the experience working with you unique. Use stories to give a peek into your creative process, and use reels to showcase your best work in a dynamic slideshowy kind of way. Those features can help you build a deeper connection with your audience and attract new followers. Here's number 4. Engage. Don't just post. Honestly, post stunning photos, obviously, but engagement is what builds relationship. Respond to comments, like and share other users' content, and start conversations in your captions. Like, hey, are you having an easy time with your photography journey? Or are you having a hard time with your photography journey? Leave in the comments. Tell me how it's going for you. And you can do that with your potential clients to get them to engage in your comments. When you engage with your audience, you're not just building followers, you're building community. And a strong community is the foundation of a successful social media presence. So, hashtag strategically. Hashtagging has really changed over the last. There was a time people were like, use 30 hashtags, use 55 hashtags. Now, recommended is like 3 hashtags. Hashtags are powerful, very powerful tools for increasing your visibility, but they got to be used wisely. Instead of using the same generic hashtag on every post, do some research and mix popular, moderately popular, and niche specific hashtags. Niche specific. Find the hashtags that your ideal customers are using and hang out in those hashtags. That strategy helps you reach different segments of your audience and keeps your content fresh. Collaborate to expand your reach. Collaboration is one of the most effective ways to grow your audience. Partner with other creatives, other photographers, models, makeup artists, influencers who share your target audience. That not only introduces you to their followers, but also adds a variety to your content. A well-chosen collaboration can significantly boost your visibility and your credibility. Here's number 7. Share user-generated content for credibility. So imagine this. Your client's praise is one of the most powerful forms of social proof. So encourage your clients to share their experiences working with you by tagging you in their social media posts. Repost their content on your profile to showcase your happy clients and build trust with potential new ones. It's a win-win. They get a shout out. They get a shout out, and you get authentic content that actually strengthens your brand. Here's number 8. Tell compelling stories with your captions. Your photos might be worth 1,000 words, but a well-crafted caption can add so much more value. Use captions to tell the story behind the photo, share personal insight, or offer a tip. Storytelling makes your post more engaging and helps your audience connect with you on a way, way deeper level. All right. Everything working perfectly, Emin. Thank you for asking. Am meaning clips. So, number 9, use analytics to fine-tune your strategy. If you're not using analytics, you're missing out on incredibly valuable insight. Like, social media platforms offer analytics. Like Instagram has back-end analytics that you can use that will help you understand what content that you're making is actually resonating with your audience. Use that data to refine your strategy. Focus yourself on what works and adjust yourself and fix what isn't working. The more you know about your audience, the better that you can serve them. Data's your friend. Get into the data. What you track, you improve. And if you're not tracking engagement on your social media posts, how can you know what's working and what's not? Here's number 10. Experiment with new formats. The social media landscape is continually, constantly evolving, and staying ahead means being willing to try a couple new things. Experiment with different content formats, make some reels, or even jump on TikTok to see what's resonating with your audience. I hate TikTok. I don't go on TikTok. I don't play on TikTok. I don't look at TikTok, but my team, I'm on TikTok. I have a TikTok account and I post to TikTok twice a day because it brings incredible engagement. I just have somebody else do it. Innovation keeps your content fresh and keeps your audience engaged. Here's number 11. Pin your best work. Pin your best work. Most social media platforms, obviously Instagram, allow you to pin important posts at the top of your profile. You can also make articles on LinkedIn and pin them to the top of your profile. I do this all the time. Use this feature to showcase your best work, highlight special offers, or share important announcements. Pinning your best content ensures that it's the first thing that new visitors see, which makes a strong first impression. I've shot for Vogue, so I had my first Vogue magazine tear sheet pinned on the first page of my Instagram account, like obviously. Here's number 12. Create shareable content. The more your content is shared, the more people it reaches. Focus on creating content that your followers will want to share with their own audience. That could be inspirational quotes, behind the scenes looks, or quick tips related to your specific niche. Shareable content amplifies your reach without any extra effort on your part. What you need to do is practice being magnetic. Practice making content that is so good that people cannot not share it. They're compelled to share it. You guys having a good time? Always use calls to action. That's number 13. Always use calls to action. Don't underestimate the power of a clear call to action. By the way, if you're learning something today and this is bringing you value, if you know something now after watching that you didn't know 3 minutes ago, hit the subscribe button. Like, it's free. Please hit the subscribe button. It tells me that I'm making great content. And watch this. As I say, subscribe. If you're not subscribed, if you look down there, you'll see the subscribe button go. Hit the like button. That's another thing. How many likes do I have on this thing, chat? make sure that you're hitting the like button and subscribing, because that pushes my content out to more people. If you believe in me and what I'm doing here and you're trying to help me, share this content. Did you see what I just did there? Don't underestimate the power of a clear call to action. Whether it's asking your audience to comment, share, or check out your latest blog post, a CTA guides them on what to do next. It can significantly increase engagement and drive traffic to your website or your portfolio. So I'm asking you one more time, please subscribe to this YouTube channel if it's bringing you value. Here's number 14. Participate in social media challenges. People love a quiz. People love a challenge. Social media challenges are a great way to engage your audience and gain exposure to new followers. Participate in photography-related challenges or create your own. This not only showcases your skills, but also connects you with a broader community of creatives. By the way, I've created your professional photographer's readiness checklist. Sometimes that's hard to say. Professional photographer's readiness checklist. I ask you 40 questions, and by the answers of your questions or these questions, it'll tell you how ready you are to be a pro. So go to the video description, do my professional photographer's readiness checklist, and I'll give you back an instant result, and it'll tell you where you need to improve and where you're winning. So checklists, quizzes, polls, all of these things engage audiences. Here's number 15. Focus on one platform first. It's tempting to try to be everywhere all at once. Like, you notice me, I'm on like all platforms, but this can spread you too thin. Instead, focus on mastering one platform that aligns with your goals and your audience. You have to find out where your ideal clients are. You might be a corporate headshot guy and hanging out on Instagram and wondering why you're not getting bookings. Your clients hang out on LinkedIn. So you got to hang out there. So you got to know where your audience spends their time. Once you build a strong online presence on that one platform, you can expand to other platforms. That focused approach allows you to build deeper connections and a more engaged audience. And don't get it twisted. Things that you can get away with doing on TikTok, you can't get away with doing on Instagram Reels, and things you do on Instagram Reels that work aren't going to work on TikTok. Every single platform is different, which is why I recommend really getting good at one platform before you add a second one. Number 16 is curate and share valuable resources. And this is why I ask you to share my content. What it does is it's positioning you as an authority in your niche because you're sharing valuable resources with your audience. That could be tips, tutorials, or industry news that your followers would find useful. Like, when you curate content that aligns with your ideal customer's interests, you become a go-to source for information, which enhances your credibility and keeps your followers coming back for more information. Number 17. This is something that I am just about to endeavor into, which is running social media ads strategically. If you have the budget, running a targeted ads can significantly boost your visibility. Imagine social media platforms have sophisticated targeted options that allow you to reach specific demographics. Use ads to promote your best work, special offers, or upcoming events. Even a small investment can lead to big results if done strategically. Imagine every time you post on Instagram, you see under it, it says boost post, ? Boost. When you hit that, you can create literally like an Instagram post that really acts like an ad, and then you can boost it to a bunch of people who aren't your followers, and those people will be your ideal customers, and For $30, you can reach like 5,000 extra accounts that all could be your potential customers. And if you practice being magnetic with your content, that can convert into jobs. It does for me. So here's my message to you, my fellow photographer. Remember, social media for photographers is not just about sharing your images. It's about building your brand, telling a story, and creating a community. It's a tool not just for showcasing your work, but for building relationships and growing your business. Having direct access to anybody on earth with an Instagram account is incredibly powerful. You can turn your social media presence from a mere display of your portfolio into a dynamic, engaging platform that attracts and retains a dedicated following. So here's some actionable steps. Number one, understand your audience. You got to know who's looking at your stuff. Dive into analytics to see who engages with your content and tailor your posts to their interests. Number two, tell stories. Share the journey behind your photos. Be human. That could mean inspiration. It could talk about the challenges, or you could be talking about the technical aspects of your photography, as well as the mindset behind the work. Number three, engage in conversations. Respond to every comment. Ask for feedback and engage in other people's discussions. Make your followers feel heard and make them feel valuable. Provide value when you post. When you're seeking out potential clients, follow them first. Genuinely engage with them without the expectation of work or money or anything that benefits you. If you just focus on helping others and you're selfless, the money will flow like it never has before. Number four, offer value beyond your work. Value beyond your work. Share tips, share tutorials, share insights into your photography world. Position yourself as a resource, not just a photographer. Be obsessive about how you can learn how to bring value to your potential clients. When they have the budget to pay for photography, you are going to be top of mind. So, number five, consistency is key. Regularly posting keeps your audience engaged and helps you stay relevant in social media algorithms. Regular posting doesn't necessarily have to mean daily, but posting 3 to 4 times a week is fine, but be consistent and post for one specific audience. Number six, leverage different social media platforms effectively. Understand the unique social language and audience on each platform. YouTube is different than Instagram and Facebook and X and LinkedIn. They all serve different purposes. They all have specific nuances and they're all used differently. What works on Insta doesn't work on LinkedIn. Number seven, collaborate and network. Partner with other creatives or small brands. That exposes you to a wider audience and brings a fresh perspective to your work. 8, adapt and evolve. Stay updated with the latest social media trends and adapt your strategy accordingly. Adaptability is crucial in the ever-changing digital landscape. This creative industry is like a rushing river. You've heard me say this before. It's always moving. It's always evolving. You can't be doing the same thing that you were doing 10 years ago and expecting it to be working today, which means if you've never been on video, if you've never shot self-portraits, or if you've never really put yourself out there, how can you expect to connect with your audience in a real, authentic way? I'll say again, there is a reason why Peter McKinnon is a household name. It is because of his presence on YouTube, not for his camera skills. Imagine how you'd do if you used video as a marketing tool for your specific audience. So, if you're a photographer that's looking to grow your photography business and grow your impact, know that social media, and yes, that does include YouTube, can be more than just a platform for showcasing your work. all of these social media platforms can be powerful tools for education, for building communities, and for creating a sustainable business model. My journey from using YouTube as a simple client work showcase to a thriving educational platform like I have now is a testament to the potential that lies within this platform and all social media channels in general. Remember, replace the word algorithm with the word audience. The algorithm's only goal is to share your content with the right audience. It's not just about views or followers or subscribers. It's about the impact that you can create in the lives of your audience, their businesses, and the communities that you build along the way. If you're making valuable content for your specific niche, and if you haven't found your perfect niche yet, make sure you watch more of my content. You know I obsess over helping you find your way. If this brought you value today, thank you for listening. I hope, indeed, it's brought you value. Please leave a comment. I'd love to know what thing you found today in my list of well over 17 tips to master social media, to hack social media, to make social media work for you. Leave me a comment at the end of this video. If you're watching on iTunes, leave me a review and talk to me about how this is affected. If it has affected you. If you're listening on Spotify, leave me a review on Spotify and say, hey, dude, thanks for making that content, if you feel that way. Know this, I am obsessed about helping you get to the next level with your photography. The next generation photographer, the 21st century photographer, isn't really a photographer anymore at all. Photographers now need to bridge the gap to becoming an idea generator, an idea executor, a content maker, whether it's stills or video. You have to understand how to write and be magnetic with your communication. The 21st century photographer isn't even a photographer anymore. We've evolved to be someone that is the most important person in the room when we walk in. That's what we're trying to be. Guys, I hope today brought you value. You know me, I am Carty. This has been the Carty Method. Thanks so much for watching.
This commercial-free live stream was brought to you by the members of this channel. If it wasn't for you, we'd have to fill up these live streams with ads that would just interrupt the flow. The members of this channel make commercial-free content during these live streams possible. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month today to gain access to secret live streams, live chats, and to show your support with that crown badge next to your name. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert, even if the content you're sharing isn't yours. Be a curator and share this content with your network. If you're an emerging or struggling photographer that's trying to break free from your current 9-to-5 grind and transition to the life of a working pro photographer, that's our obsession here at the Carty Method. Register, get the support you need. If you're alone and struggling at this craft, make sure you join the Carty Method community. You'll always find help in the show notes. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Find your creative and business genius with the Carty Method.
Remember, this commercial-free stream was brought to you by the members of this channel. I definitely couldn't do it without you. Know that everybody who has become a member, or at least the last 25 of you, I like to show love by giving you a little credit scroll across the top of the page here. And if you've found me recently and my content has brought you value and you chose to hit the subscribe button, you're going to see your name scroll across the bottom. I hope today brought you value. I got lots of great content on this channel. Make sure you watch something else next. Thanks so much for watching.